Who's going to go and win?
It's such a tight game. You've got one player, xLevVinken, who's just been consistently fantastic throughout the entire tournament. Maestro, is he going to be able to come back down to earth after such a high, after such an ecstatic win? You've got to come back down minute one and just be switched on straight away. That's going to be the big thing, personally, because you've just come off that game with, what, a 10-minute buffer in between. xLevVinken's had about an hour and a half to be able to calm himself down, prepare, watch the game that he's one of the two opponents that he's going to be facing, whether that be Shells or Maestro. I think just for the mental side, it's slight advantage to xLevVinken.
And also, if you're Maestro, you've just come out of a penalty shootout, a really interesting and incredible semi-final. If you saw me just in the corner there, I was just videoing the reaction of the penalty shootout. Maestro's phone right now is going to be just pinging off with notifications. Turn it off, get it away, because you're going straight into a final now where you're battling out for a chance, not just to make the cross-console final, but a chance to get 1,500 Global Series ranking points, which would do so well, you know, on your challenge to making the grand finals.
Arguably one of the biggest games in xLevVinken's professional FIFA career. He's been in console finals before, but not at FUT Champions Cups. At the FUT Champions Cups, it's been around a 16 or a quarter final as far as he's been able to go. In terms of his sort of LQE status, especially in London, it's been a semi-final or a console final. He's looking to go one step further at a Champions Cup to be able to reach a cross-console final. Maestro stands in his way.
Of course, Maestro might be able to pull out an Mbappe celebration. However, xLevVinken has not lost a game as of yet in this major. The last FUT Champions Cup of the year, and they did play in Swiss-style format. xLevVinken did get the result, and that's the only defeat that Maestro has tasted.
That goal scored. 47 goals Maestro has netted, conceding 22. That's a 25-plus goal differential in his performances. That round of 16 game really set him up for a comfortable and a confident bracket run. 7-1 win against Dr. Ahano. He then put the sword to another German, Timox, 5-2, and then that penalty shootout semi-final, which was so intense against Shells.
You have to have a quick word for Shells as well. Yes, he's out of the competition, but what a statement he has made. Getting those 625 Global Series ranking points in his pocket and doing wonders once again for the PlayStation 4 UK FIFA scene. And he should be so proud of what he's done over this weekend.
You've seen xLevVinken's results on the right-hand side of the screen. I'm going to go out on a limb right now and say we're not yet to see xLevVinken's best FIFA. I still think he's got another gear to go to. Yes, he might have been unbeaten, but the manner in which he's been winning, I've seen him play better than this in the past.
I think for me, the best time we saw him play was at the playoffs back in Amsterdam. He was obviously with Ajax at the time. He was in Amsterdam, right next to the Johan Cruyff Arena, and it was a bit of a spectacle there, not just for Lev, but for Danny as well. Here comes Lev now. xLevVinken currently ranked 6th in the Global Series rankings, 2,574 points to his name. You can see the goals he scored throughout the competition. They're 5-0 in Swiss-style format, a convincing win for him in the round of 16. A quarter-final win as well against Marcuso, 4-2. And in the semi-finals, he beat M10 Houston. You can see all the results there. 6-5. It was all the runs of all the players throughout the competition. This is your console final, though. Only one player can go into that cross-console final.
Both players already secured 850 Global Series ranking points coming into this game. The winner will be securing 1,500 and guaranteeing themselves $30,000 in the cross-console final. Big money, big rewards, big game.
And also a chance, Richard, to get another name on that trophy. Could it be the second Frenchman to get on the FUT Champions Cup? Could it be the first Dutchman?
First ever PlayStation player to be on a FUT Champions Cup.
That would be one hell of a story. Yes, we have not looked at the Xbox side yet. We won't get ahead of ourselves, but we're just trying to paint a picture of what could happen. As xLevVinken does come forward now. Kylian Mbappe, what a scoop turn that is into a hill-to-hill. Fake shot or two. Everything's out from xLevVinken. And it will go out for a corner in the end.
Beautiful little bit of play there from xLevVinken inside the box. Sold his man a dream and then took him back outside.
He's going to come straight back in with another attack now. Ronaldo this time into Vieira. Has to be patient. Everyone back, everyone behind the ball. Vitality Maestro. There's the scoop into the cross. Ronaldo's in the box, but he just changed off him a few seconds before, which could have altered the run into the box. Advantage played there for a free kick on R9. And just a word about Maestro. Coming out that French scene where you've got some of the greats, the Bruce Granics, PSG Rocky, PSG Dax, who will be his teammate at the E-Nations.
Vitality Brian. So many fantastic French players have made the scene what it is today.
And played beautiful football as well. Look at Dax, he's called the artist for a reason. Still trying to think of a nickname for Maestro at the top of my head other than the Kylian Mbappe celebration. That we've seen a few times from him. On the other side of Lev, he may have only made round of 16 at best in the FUT Champions Cups, but did well in the E-Club World Cup with FaZe when he was just loaned in there with TAS. And in LQEs, he seems to thrive off a little bit. I think he matched up against Nicholas. I'm thinking back a few months now.
Yeah, in the console final, he lost 3-1 to Nicholas on that occasion. Just couldn't break him down.
Here we go. Ronaldo now. Just a little dink up. Tried to play that one into what looked like Mbappe on the left-hand side. Overlapping run is going to be Neymar.
Right place, right time for Marcelo there, just to get something in the way of that.
This is not just a massive game for the console final. The Global Series points to hang on this. Chance now for Ronaldo. So patient around the box is xLevVinken, but defensively, everybody seems to be there matching him up. At the back for Maestro, playing in that French kit. Part of the eFoot de France setup over there, and it was just a few weeks ago. He was playing with Kylian Mbappe, FIFA, the likes of Titi. The list goes on. Here's the chance to the back post. Now, what a save. Goalkeeper movement on point as well.
Exactly, goalkeeper movement. Unbelievable there from Maestro. You saw elements of it in the matchup against Shells. You see that possession, dominant first half performance here from xLevVinken. It'll be interesting to find out after the game. Is that something that they've wanted to implement from the get-go? Got goal machine in behind him. Should I call him coach machine?
It's been the running joke, isn't he? He's been helping out with Lev in the competition. Unfortunately, went out in Swiss-style format. The goal machine on this occasion, a player that normally is used to getting out of Swiss and
making good runs in tournaments as well.
See a pause cued by Maestro. Will he get it before half-time? Wants to make some kind of change, because we haven't really seen him have any chances so far. It's been mostly Lev, and once again, defensively, Lev is just matching up his opponent and giving no time or no respect at all. The advantage as well that Lev's had, he's had a game to just sit back and watch Maestro play.
He's had time to bring himself back down to earth and calm his breathing, make sure that he's fully prepared coming into this huge console final. Pause cued here by Maestro. You see that first half, not a lot of shots for either side. Pass accuracy dead even also, but that possession heavily in favour of the enforcer, xLevVinken.
Look at the record as well. 8 games played, 8 victories for him. Incredible stuff from the Dutchman. And there we go, into half-time, into the break, where we've only had one shot registered. That shot coming, obviously, for xLevVinken. Better possession as well. But the story of xLevVinken, I remember we saw him, Richard, a few years ago back when we just about got into the FIFA esports scene, and we saw him at the time winning a fans competition at the Johan Cruyff Arena with the Zigo E-Battle.
It was a 256 amateur tournament in which he entered xLevVinken. He then went on to win the amateur side of the tournament. He got put into a 16-man invitational where it was Fully who was his coach on that occasion. Fully. He didn't have a team, xLevVinken. It was an ultimate team. He didn't have a team to compete alongside the likes of Rocket, alongside of TAS. So Fully said, you can use my team for this tournament. He did, and he didn't even finish bottom of the group. He went in as an amateur. He then got more experience under his belt at a number of different tournaments, went on loan from Ajax to Sparta Rotterdam.
Played in the Eredivisie there as well for a period, then got that move to Ajax, and now he's still part of Team Bundled, but currently a free agent, I'm sure.
As he keeps telling us.
Yeah. With the amount of performances and Global Series ranking points he's ranking up, there's going to be someone waiting in the wings, and he's a deadly player right now. You look at the likes of the best Dutch players of all time. You look back to Koen Weiland, now on more Ajax Danny. And the quality that just still keeps on coming through each nation. Obviously Ajax Bob, and it will be Ajax Danny as well, so they'll be playing the E-Nations next week. What a tournament that is going to be as well. 20 nations battling it out. I'm sure you'll hear more about it on the build-up to it. Currently in this one, though, still 0-0. Did you expect this 50 minutes in?
I thought it was going to be a lot. Yeah, to be honest, I think it's going to be a tighter game coming into it.
Here's Lev again now, cuts inside.
Both players have been pretty good defensively. If you look at the results that Lev has had, a lot of low-scoring games, 4-2, 3-2, 6-5. Even that's quite a low-scoring game, given some of the results that we've seen. 9-7s, 10-4s, that sort of result. And you can see that in the amount of goals that he scored, only scoring 33. Whereas Maestro, on the other hand, 47 goals scored for him.
However, they have scored 47 goals, has not scored a goal as of yet, or not even registered a shot. The only chance coming, it was a half-hard one from xLevVinken, threaded through ball down the line now. The Kylian Mbappe, what can he do here? Scoop. Tried to just chip it back over his head to still look for the cross. He's in possession. Still is the Frenchman, that Team of the Year FUT item that everybody seems to love this year.
Yeah, what a story that would be if xLevVinken wins the game, maybe 1-0, and it's Mbappe who scores it after that's been.
And then brings out the celebration on top as well. Sure, on the other hand, if Maestro went and won, we'd see it both in the game and in real life from him. Mbappe, once again, out on this left-hand side, and look at the defending there. So patient. He knew not to dive in, and instead, when he did the heel-to-heel, then he decided to make that tackle and had to be perfect, and that's exactly what Maestro did.
Both of these two matching each other up so well.
We often say it's like a chess match.
And it really is this game. Neither player registering anything clear-cut in the opening 65 minutes. It is a final, so you're going to see a more cagey game. Neither player, both players want to be going into the second leg with something to play for. You never want to be going into a second leg 6-7-0 down. That's just not the way that you do it. I remember the 2017 Xbox console final at the FIWC, as it once was, and it was Cody finisher against Gorilla. The first leg was like a 6-7 goal margin. The second leg, there was nothing to play for. You don't overturn a 6-7 goal margin.
That is the beauty.
It just doesn't happen.
It's the beauty of the two-legged game as well, Richard, that if you can get 3 or 4 goals ahead of your opponent, obviously we saw the comeback from Ryan. We saw the comeback from Maestro against Shells.
I think 4 is the real maximum, and that's a sort of a lightning doesn't strike twice scenario.
Ronaldo trying to get past Maldini, unfortunately did miss that penalty for Shells and actually sent Maestro through. That was a crazy game there, you can see it there. Semi-final 5-5 penalty shootout to decide a place in the console final, which we're into right now. And 75 minutes into it, nearly.
Just joining as well, that penalty shootout, Maestro didn't miss a penalty.
Ronaldo now, first chance, first shot of the game. You can have all the possession in the world. And finally, the Frenchman does strike. It's going to be Maestro that actually takes us in the lead here.
Shake of the head from xLevVinken. He knows that he can't let him turn inside the box. Turned onto his left foot, fired that low-driven shot with a little bit of time green.
If you're Lev, you're thinking...
It's always going to hit the back of the net.
You're Lev right now. I've had all the ball. I haven't maybe created loads of chances. I've tried to. Maestro down the other end, but this is why they're both in the final. They're quality players that they don't need all the chances in the world. And right now, maybe against the run of play, you can say Maestro, he's won the lot. Let's have a look at that goal again.
Just a little pass into R9.
Yeah, into R9 and in the bottom corner in the end. No chance for the goalkeeper there.
97 prime icon moment. Ronaldo not going to miss. 98 pace, 96 shooting, 98 dribbling. He's in every single player's team. 5-star skills, 5-star weak foot, medium work rates.
Will that goal change anything regarding Lev's attacking prowess in this next 10 minutes? There came the shot again. Time yellow from Cristiano Ronaldo. Got to be hitting them green, or at least when your body's fully facing the goal. He's kind of on a half turn there.
A little bit of tame effort, I think, a good way of describing that one. But no real connection with the ball.
Ronaldo now. Just look at the numbers back. Defensively, Maestro has looked strong and still.
Again, it's a timed finish. Yellow from Lev. He knows that. You saw the reaction. Another shake of the head. With it being timed yellow, he's timing that too late. So he's pressing the action button, the shoot button, too late after the first time he's hit it. So maybe that's nerves. Maybe that's a little bit of pressure being mounted on him that he's putting on himself. It's one of the things that if you are feeling different, if you're not fully switched on, it's easy for it to go wrong, timed finishing.
You just saw the stats there. We can literally break down all the chances we saw. 2 of them were timed yellow shots from Lev, and the other one was just quite a routine day for the keeper. He's on the right side of his man. Maestro, can he strike again? Yes, he has. And it's going to be the substitute as well, and Ronaldinho. Not the biggest celebration from Maestro because he knows he still has a second leg. Lev may feel hard done by, but it's the chances he missed. It's the chances he's not really taken.
It all came from a pretty standard goal kick as well from Maestro. The ball just, I'm not sure if he played enough side trap. I'd be very, very intrigued to watch that goal back on the highlights because there was so much space in behind all of a sudden. He played the ball as quick as he could into Ronaldinho. A fairly simple finish past the goalkeeper as well.
Lev was back against the wall.
Against Houston. He was losing against Houston.
True, let's remember that. And let's remember he has not lost a game. You can see him getting a little bit agitated and frustrated on the right-hand side of your screen. He still has another leg, and he has to think for, what, the first 60 minutes or so in this game, I've been dominating. Just couldn't take his chances, though, that he did have. And if you've watched as well, the amount of times that Lev has tried to go down the left-hand side of Mbappe, Maestro has been superb. He's matched it up every single time. Cross come over, surely not Cristiano Ronaldo. I thought he was going to hit it on the volley originally there. Back in possession, Cuqueta into a roulette for him. Cuqueta again, back to Pele, or Eusebio, I should say.
The ball just bouncing around the box there. I did think Ronaldo was going to hit that first time. Dean Windass in the playoff finals there, just coming down, hitting it on the volley.
Could you imagine?
To take a touch though.
Could you imagine that just flying to the back of the net and sending Maestro potentially 3-0 up instead? It is 2-0. He's even frustrated with that in himself, but Lev, he needs a big performance in this second leg. He was, what, 62% possession at one point, but as we say, you can have all the possession in the world. It's the scoreline that really matters at the end of the day.
Goals win games at the end of the day. It's as simple as that. You can have all the possession. I seem to remember in the first leg, TAS against Desari, he had 79% possession, TAS. He lost 1-0. In the end, the result went away from him in that second leg, losing by a considerable goal margin. However, in this game, LevVinken, we know he doesn't have to play well to score and to win games. It's as simple as that. He's not played amazing in a number of games that he's played, but he's grinded out the results where we needed to.
Well, as we said, we only saw a few chances in this game. That was a really well-worked bit of play there. A number of skill moves, a combination of them. This is LevVinken in the white strip, by the way. You score that.
Yeah, it's got to be a goal. He got to go near post there. Obviously, you've got to credit the fantastic goalkeeper movement as well from Maestro on that occasion.
So it was Maestro that did win this game by 2-0 if you didn't know already. So this was all Lev, as we're saying, 60 minutes into it, it was Lev making the chances. Look, you'll see some of the time yellow shots now. Could this be the first one? It's Mbappe on the left-hand side. I think he tried, no, that one's tackled on there. He did have shots. That's the end of the story. He had 2 shots. However, it was Maestro that actually went and scored 2 goals. That was the first one of R9. Time green, nothing really too fancy about it other than a good finish. Lev had a chance here, 80 minutes into this one. There's the time yellow. Out it goes for a goal kick.
Scuffed wide there from Neymar. And you see Ronaldo make the run down the right-hand side. Outstrength Marcelo. Ronaldinho just were quicker than the defence. It was simple as that. Got away from Varane, tucked it past the goalkeeper, and this was the chance. I thought he was going to hit it first time.
Oh, wow. If Ronaldo hit that first time, that could have been a screamer of a goal. The question is, would David De Gea have got there? Fought a few skills there. Eusebio had a half a chance. It was kind of a cricketa into a roulette and a number of other skills. However, Maestro is 2-0 up at the break. He still has a lot of time left to add on to this, or on the other side of that, what is, as we call him, Coach Machine up to right now? What's he going to be saying to Lev? Because Lev has not tasted defeat.
Just telling him just to play the game you play. There's no reason to be feeling nervous. You've been in this position before. You've been in console finals before. This isn't a new scenario for you. Whether seeing the stature of this arena, seeing the people who are watching, the points up for grabs, the prize money up for grabs, it will affect you. You saw it with the yellow time shots. That's not xLevVinken.
If you win the game, you're guaranteed a minimum of $30,000. You're in a cross-console final, you've got 1,500 Global Series ranking points in your name. For someone like xLevVinken, that puts him on over 4,000 Global Series ranking points, and it pushes him up to the likes of Pina and Joxan.
And Nicholas, yep.
And he'll be chasing them.
Yep.
On the other side, you've got Maestro, 13th in those ranks at the moment. He'll jump up to 3,000, and then he'll be just behind xLevVinken. Obviously, he'll get at least 850.
That would then solidify Maestro into the grand finals. You've got to think, with the amount of points that he would accumulate with this victory in this matchup, if you win this game, you're going through to a cross-console final where you're guaranteeing yourself 1,500 Global Series ranking points.
We have got our second leg coming up right away now. This is the console final, your PlayStation console final. And obviously, these are the best two players out the 32 that arrived in London just a few days ago now.
We've also got coming up shortly F2 Techs in action and MS Dasari both playing their semi-finals. If they win their games, they'll be meeting each other in a console final.
That is going to be a tasty game if it happens, but standing in the way of MS Dasari, you've got Battlecat, who's had a fantastic weekend, and then another UK player who's been around for a long, long time and just hitting his peak now is Rebel Stokes, who'll be up against F2 Techs. But what's Maestro thinking right now? He's 2-0 up. He's one game away from getting himself into a cross-console final and probably having the best tournament he has had this year in FIFA 19 in the Global Series.
Yeah, he's been up and down really with his performances this year in FIFA 19. He's done enough to get himself a guaranteed playoff spot and just on the cusp of the grand finals really with 1,500 points. But you often say sometimes you need a catalyst to really spur you on. I think him being announced as the official France player for the E-Nations Cup. You heard it in the interview with Rachel. She didn't even have to ask about it. He brought it up himself. Yeah, I am the France player. I am the French representative. That's the thing that's kicked him on. He doesn't want to not only disappoint himself and his player who we were playing with in Dax, he's got a nation right on him as well. He has to play well in that tournament. France is a thriving FIFA nation.
It's going to be xLevVinken with the first chance of the game. He's gone for that scoop cross again, and it's getting to a level where that could be slightly predictable for Maestro.
Could be predictable, however, it's still effective. That's the only thing that matters.
I'm just linking back to the fact of the amount of times I saw Mbappe get on the ball for xLevVinken in that white strip who's kicking from right to left. And Ramos, he matched him up every single time, just had the ball there. Speaking of Maestro, though, he got himself a grand final spot last year. He was playing for Los Lille at the time, but the thing that held him back last year was his mental side of the game. He used to get very agitated, very frustrated when things weren't going well for him. He went away over the summer, came back for FIFA 19 and...
No coach.
Yeah, no coach, number one. Yeah. And number two, he seems very chilled, very relaxed in the way he's played. I've spoken to him before. He said, I'm a lot better mentally as well.
You see the outpour of emotion after the result. I don't think we've seen that sort of reaction after a win in a very long time. Probably going back to Nicholas Razek and Sammy in Manchester when they were screaming at each other in that penalty shootout. That was a similar sort of reaction that we just saw from Maestro when he beat Shells on penalties. He didn't know what to do. He was throwing his bottle, he was picking up his shoes. He didn't know what to do.
Didn't know if he was going to throw the console for a minute. It had me scared when I was just watching that. What a crazy semi-final that was. Shells still 2-0 down. I should say xLevVinken, obviously Shells out of the competition. I think I'm just too focused on that semi-final, Richard, which was a penalty shootout. xLevVinken.
Look at that passing accuracy, 78% from Lev, but he's not had a lot of the ball. We're only 18 minutes in. Maestro been bossing the possession early doors. Gives the ball away there with quite a slack pass in the midfield, however.
Do you think that Swiss game has had any implications on this? They played in Swiss style. Lev beat him. I know it's Swiss style.
No.
But do you think back to that game at all?
No. Bracket play is completely different to Swiss play, in my opinion. Swiss stage, it's all about just getting through. In bracket, you have to play your best to not get eliminated. The only match that you can sort of call back to is if they're matched in the round 5 of Swiss, where it was, but they wouldn't, because one player would be eliminated.
But more in the, you mean more in the fact when they were both already through?
Yeah.
So the pressure wasn't really as such there. It was more for seeding. That shot comes in. Rafael Varane just did enough to flick that over for a corner as this corner comes straight in there. Doesn't actually hit the front post man, which was Cristiano Ronaldo. Falls back to Neymar. Get rid of that, Ramos. xLevVinken. Wow, very composed at the back. I think that's one thing that we always look at, though, is does Swiss, you kind of have to move on from Swiss because it's a new day. It's a new day, it's knockout FIFA. You don't have any second chances as Lev has a bit of a chance, but Ramos has been superb once again.
Yeah, that were actually a hit first time as well. You're powering up the shoot. You saw the animation going for a volley. You saw Hullet just starting to make a burst through the middle of the pitch. He decided not to use it in the end.
You haven't seen much of Lev yet. We saw him for what? The first half in the first leg. He created a number of chances, a lot of the ball as well. Scoop turn. This is his chance now to get back in the game. Ronaldo will hit it. And a big goal for the Dutchman. Pulls him back into this matchup.
He absolutely loves that near post finish. I was watching him warming up earlier today against Shells. He hit that near post finish in the 92nd minute against him there. We've seen it against Houston. He loves that green-timed near post finish. That's a shot that he's got the unbelievable technique and the mastering of at the near post. He knows the right position of the analog stick and the power that he needs to put on it for it to go in.
Well then, we have a game on our hands. If we didn't already in the console final, the first goal that Lev has scored, yes, it's come in the 32nd minute of the second leg for him. As we said, he had a number of chances in that first leg, but was not messing around at all there. Green time finesse, you said it perfectly, something that he was practicing before at the near post, and R9 is normally a man for a big occasion and will not be missing that.
It's less of him practicing it and more him just knowing what to do with it at the near post.
Maestro, what a scoop turn round his man, Rafael Varane. That's twice now, back to Mbappe. Oh, is it time?
That's unlucky. That's so unlucky. The ball just bounced away from him in the box. The scoop turn out of the feet was really original. However, that touch is an absolute killer. I think it's from Rafael Varane. He's taken it out of his feet.
Well, we were praising Rafael Varane for making the original interception from the scoop turn from Mbappe, and
such a bad touch.
I think it was that Rafael Varane obviously he's lunged in to make that tackle, and he's just a millimetre second too late on the floor and just literally passes it back to Maestro. Maestro passes it back to Mbappe. No Mbappe celebration from Maestro because he knows 3-1 is not a safe score line yet, and he's got very fortunate with that third goal.
You know, just the heavy touch out of his feet has killed him there, in all honesty.
Especially when Lev was trying to build something. Has to move on. Put it to the back of his mind, as hard as it can be. Marcelo to Mbappe. Get the ball wide. Look at that run from Ronaldo. He's found it. Oh no, Marcelo's blocked it. Really good defending.
A little bit slow out of the feet from Vieira. Seems though all of his players at the minute just a little bit.
The scoop.
It's going nowhere. That a little bit lackadaisical at the back. Throughout the pitch, I feel like.
Ronaldo to Ronaldo, finesses, hits the body of Maldini, back to De Gea. Warning signs still from Maestro, who has been very good defensively. I've said it a number of times already. Maestro back in possession. He's nearly at half-time as well, at the interval in the second leg. He's still in front, he's still 3 goals up. And that is his 50th goal as well that he has scored. 50 goals in this competition. And here we go, nearly at half-time. Neymar, dispossessed, falls back to Maldini. I'm just waiting for that whistle from the referee as we can see some stats at half-time. 45 minutes left. Has he got enough time to put himself back in this?
Of course he's got enough time. 45 minutes is a lot of time in FIFA, but what we're going to say just then was the fact that, yeah, Maestro, very good defensively, very, very good. But Lev's been very poor going forward. In the 2 games that we've seen, that game right there, 1 shot at half-time. In the first game, he had 1 shot at half-time. It's just...
The way I would look at it, it seems like he's running out of ideas. He gets down the wing, scoops up, crosses it. Other than that...
Look at the results on the right-hand side of your screen. Quarter-final, he conceded 2 goals. If he concedes, he's not... The way that he was talking, when I was talking to Goal Machine earlier, was... We're just doing enough. We're just doing enough to get past. He's not done enough in this game. to beat Maestro. It's as simple as that. He's not created chances. He's not being clinical in the final third. He has to change something going forward.
He needs like another plan or another idea from him, because as I've said, we've seen him try to do a few of those just scoop crosses. Yes, they can be effective, but the way that Maestro's been defending with the fullbacks, every single time he's got someone there or someone around the back post to stop it, he needs another idea. Whether that's a sub or a change of formation late on. Yes, he's won all his games so far playing this way, so he wouldn't really want to change much, but you need to create more chances. It's simple as that. Vieira now. Ronaldo to Ronaldo. This is xLevVinken. He needs to build himself back into this, but
so deep, Maestro, in his defending there. You could count maybe 7, 8 bodies behind the ball. Then he's direct in his attack. Ronaldo, R9, Mbappe. He floods those 3 forward.
Just a hoof long. Rafael Varane in the end, who has been a little bit hit and miss in this game. He's kind of his mistake led to the 3rd goal in the tie for Maestro, and
the heavy touches have killed xLevVinken in this game. I've counted 3 or 4 touches out of his feet that have just bounced off his players.
It's the little things, isn't it?
But not only is it the little things that you give the ball away, but that's the things that play on your mind. My players aren't controlling the ball right. My defenders aren't tackling properly. These are the things that, game by game, they will start to play on your mind. Minute by minute, they'll play on your mind.
The worst thing that can happen for Lev is Maestro will go and score again. If he does that, 30 minutes left, 3 goals behind. Yes, we have seen some incredible comebacks this weekend, but the way that Maestro's been defending, I honestly cannot see Lev pulling it back if he does go and concede. The next goal is massive. It must be a xLevVinken goal. Marcelo, again, looking for that cross. For me, a standout player has been Ramos. Probably the best Ramos performance I've seen in a long time at right back. There's the through ball. This will be a story. Mbappe to book a place in the cross-console final. It's Maestro again. And it's the Mbappe celebration as well.
And that celebration is huge. Not only because xLevVinken sat right next to him and he's seen all of that, but also he does not celebrate like that in this game yet. That shows that he's confident now. He's got a big enough goal margin to see him through to the cross-console final. It's as simple as that. He feels like he's done enough in this game. 62 minutes gone, 20 minutes left. The stats don't lie. One shot on target, 43% possession.
And he's simply just been more clinical, Richard. And as we said, well, you said more perfectly, Swiss style. It doesn't matter. Take it out of your mind, because if this is a so-called revenge, he's currently 4-1 up and on the verge of earning himself an extra 1,500 Global Series ranking points. And he'll go back in the Gfinity Arena, sit down and think, right, I'm going to watch all these Xbox matches now, semi-final, console final, and I'll be waiting for whoever is in the wings for the cross-console final. And I'm sure somewhere out there, if Mbappe's got a spare 5 minutes to come watch this stream, he'll be supporting Maestro, because
they were playing together last week, weren't they?
They were, back in Paris at the FUT de France. They were having some friendlies there with Dax, so playing against all the national team ahead of their fixtures. And it's Mbappe, the story. We painted it out, didn't we? Imagine Mbappe sending Maestro through. Yes, there's still 20 minutes left, but from what we've seen in front of us, 3 goals behind. Could be 4, ball comes there. No chance.
Really nice ball as well. Little threaded through ball around the last man. Not enough on it in the end. De Gea claims it up, but Varane, Maldini, Marcelo and Ramos at the back for Maestro. They've been solid. They've been very, very solid. I can't really think of too many mistakes. They've soaked up the pressure where needed to. Vieira and Hullet just sat in front of that back 4.
All over the box. Oh, there was nearly the flick on into the ongoing run of Eusebio. As we go into our last 20 minutes now, I'd expect to see a pause from Lev as well. Just go all out this game. Go for it at the back. At least you can say I've gone for it. You will pick up the ball. Rafael Varane will just get in front of the runner. There's the pause from Maestro. He wants to just secure it then, it seems. Add some fresh legs on as well in the meantime. Ronaldo's through. This is xLevVinken who gets her into the finish, and David Gea just parries it away. Look at the reaction from Maestro there. He celebrated that save.
Like it was a goal. Celebrated it like it was a goal. Change of formation here from xLevVinken. He has to go more attacking. He's got a full bench to work with as well. Wouldn't be surprised to see Cruyff coming on. Pele, another player introduced to the fray. This is it.
3 at the back.
Do or die time.
Who's he going to bring on? Of course, it'll be Cruyff. A huge fan of Johan Cruyff. Obviously, an Ajax fan as well. He's xLevVinken. But 3 goals. He hasn't got much time left. It's going to be a remarkable
Pele playing centre mid. I like that.
He's got 15 minutes left. He's got a number of attacking players on the field.
I think probably 7 of the attacking players he's got on.
Corner comes in.
A game winners.
Has that been out for a corner again? Yes, it has. He needs a winner here, really. Get it into the box. David Hare will punch it away. Maestro will just see that clock ticking down. This is for a spot in the cross-console final. Look at the reaction from Lev. He's getting frustrated. And
this is why you cannot predict, really, FIFA esports. Coming into the game, Maestro's tired. xLevVinken's unbeaten. He's already beat him in Swiss. 4-1.
You wouldn't predict it, would you?
Result.
As you always say, sometimes people play their final before. You'd think that that was Maestro's final.
Yep.
A 5-5 penalty shootout. Mbappe again. For the Frenchman, punched away. Back to Mbappe. That would be an insane way to finish this game. Keeper was off his line. I have no idea what David Hare was doing there. Just watch that time start to tick down as well. As that PlayStation winner will go into the cross-console final. 1,500 Global Series points to his name. That'll be in stone. That'll be done. That'll be in writing for him. It's just down to the prize money and a chance to lift that FUT Champions Cup a little bit later today.
It will be Maestro going on to face the winner of the Xbox. Just time separating him and the full-time whistle. What a performance from Maestro, though.
Especially when a lot of us thought, that's him done. That game against Shells was probably the best we're going to see from him. Cruyff can't even hit one in as well, even if it's time green. Just at the back line, the keeper as well for Maestro. He's defended so well in this game. Ball across the box. Ramos again. Ramos is the man of the hour at the moment. Both legs as well. He stopped Mbappe.
The ball's just been a magnet to him, Sergio Ramos, in the air, on the ground.
Ronaldinho, cricketer or two, into a drag-back roulette. It's time for a bit of FIFA Street from Lev. If he scores this, it'll probably be one of the best goals we've seen all day. It does go back in the net in the end. However, it's not going to be much for him because he's still losing by a few goals as well. Vieira just flicked it onto the path of Neymar. And
yeah, terrible touch from Vieira. Got a hand to it though, did the goalkeeper, but not enough to keep it from going goalward from the strike from Neymar. I'm a big fan of that kit. I like that kit. The Oktoberfest German kit.
Added time of 2 minutes. Fortunately for xLevVinken, he may be 8-0. He may have gone 5-0 in Swiss-style format, but it will be the Frenchman standing in his way, and he knows it's job done. Vitality Maestro books himself a place in the cross-console final. And Mbappe celebration or not, he's played fantastic FIFA throughout this tournament, and he's guaranteed himself an extra 1,500 Global Series ranking points.
Talk about building on your performances. Maestro, since he tasted that defeat against xLevVinken, he's got better and better throughout this tournament.